Good afternoon, Ted. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, it's good to be back. Thank you.
So what difference are we likely to see between the administration of President-elect Joe Biden and that of President Donald Trump?
Well, I think the interesting thing is that I think Biden will certainly be popular with some Africans. But I think just like in the United States, in Africa, opinion about Trump is divided. There are some who will be happy to see Biden elected, but I think there are others who like Trump. They like the perceived image of a strong man taking on the corrupt political elite. And they do like his strong stance on China. He's very much been open, aggressive about the power of China. And if you bear in mind that, most of the mobile network in Africa has been installed by the Chinese, you can understand why. So I would expect that actually there will be many things which are similar about the Biden administration. The US cares about Africa above all because of security. So I think we'll still see a lot of security support, just as we did under Obama as well. But I think also there'll be a real push to try and get more in terms of economic cooperation. The Trump program actually had Prosper Africa, which is about boosting economic development and more trade ties. That followed on from the work of Obama and actually from George W. Bush. So I think a lot of continuity in terms of what they're trying to do, but I think the tone of Biden is going to be much more diplomatic.
And U.S. trade with Africa has languished in recent years. Could a Biden presidency deliver a step up in trade and investment by U.S. companies in Africa?
Yes, and I really hope so, because the reality is actually U.S. trade with Africa has languished in the last 10 years. Exports from the USA have fallen by about a third to Africa in the last 5 years, and imports from Africa by two-thirds, from 90 billion to around 30 billion now. And this reflects the fact that the US is producing shale oil and gas. It imports a lot less hydrocarbons from countries like Algeria, Nigeria, and Angola. But it also shows the lack of actual diversity of the trade relationship. The US is number 5 now as export partners, below India and certainly below China. But I think an important thing is under Trump, there was actually the renegotiation, the extension of the US export-import bank's mandate. It has a huge coffer. It wants to do a lot more business with Africa. And I think under Biden administration, we're going to see them really pushing that idea of let's see if we can have more American investment and more trade flows with Africa.
And the Biden administration is expected to have a more multilateral approach to foreign relations than Trump's. How will this affect Africa?
Well, I think definitely we expect the Biden administration to be more multilateral. The immediate effects, we should expect that the US will resume funding for the WHO. That's essential during the global pandemic. Maybe Biden's administration will be more generous with the US vaccine that they've developed and give more doses to countries in Africa earlier. I think also we'll see the rejoining the Paris Accord, the climate accords, and that's essential. I mean, climate change is the biggest threat facing Africa. Still, over half the population gets its livelihood from rain-fed agriculture, and we've seen the impacts. But I think maybe the biggest opportunity is when it comes to the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. I think the US could be at the forefront in actually building this new kind of infrastructure of Pan-African trade and also, boosting trade volumes. So I would very much hope to see a much more engagement when it comes to multilateral organizations and maybe some meaningful support from the US behind the AFCFTA.
Ted, we appreciate your time on the show.
My pleasure.